Yo, what is going on, guys? So today we're back for a very different video. I recently hit 75,000 subscribers, which is a crazy milestone, and I just thank you guys so much for all the support you've been giving me on this channel over the last couple of years. It's been a crazy journey, and so I wanted to make a special video, just a Q&A. So I tweeted this here, making a Q&A video for 75k subs. Ask me anything, post questions below. I also made something on YouTube, but today we're focused on Twitter. So, when I posted this, I was expecting some crazy questions, and, I said ask me anything. I didn't say I was going to answer anything, but I figured, let's just answer everything. So we're going to go through every question here. There's quite a few. So let's get into it. So starting at the bottom, there are a couple of questions about some old drama. So let's address those first. So first, we'll read both of them together. So we got Zach Harris and Ben Eisman here saying, with your history of alliance jumping, have you found that loyalty isn't as important as being competitive? And here we have, why do you have no loyalty? We all seen how fast you left your so-called friends for the promise of better rewards. The first Omni Alliance failed because you're a terrible leader and teammate. Why did you delete all those videos that told how you feel about B Manny? So this was, if you're not even aware of what's being talked about here, this is from like 2-3 years ago now. This is a very long time ago, and it's just drama from the past. And I don't think I deleted those videos. I probably just privated them because I don't want those videos to define me. I was immature back then, made some decisions I'm not proud of, but at the same time, it's through our mistakes that we learn. So it was a very good learning experience. But the whole thing about not having any loyalty, I really only think of two alliances when I'm playing this game that I want to be in, and that's Omni and For Loki. Now For Loki, we're not the highest in prestige. We're not placing first in the Alliance War seasons. I don't really care about that as much. We're competitive, which is good, which is what I want. But I have a lot of friends in For Loki, and the same was with Omni, which was why I stuck with them for over a year. A lot of friends. So it's tough when there's two alliances that you want to be in. You can't be in both of them unless you have two accounts, which I don't. But yeah, I see both of those alliances as a home, and it's really been really good to be back with For Loki. So I do feel like I have loyalty. Maybe some people think I don't, but hey, that's fine. But yeah, so that's those two questions. Yeah, let's move on to some better questions here. Are you straight, and do you have any other hobbies? Yes, I am straight. And other hobbies, this game takes up a ton of time. It's so much time, and doing YouTube also takes up quite a bit of time. So I don't really have a whole lot of time in the day for other things, but I do like playing pool, billiards. Really big fan of pool. I play some other games too, watch a fair bit of TV. I've been getting into fitness recently as well. That's also taking up a lot of time. But yeah, and also because of COVID, man, just haven't really even been leaving the house too often. But yeah, all right. So, and that was from Darnell. So next up, we have a question from Gav. I'd like to know where to find active players looking for a good alliance with 7.5k prestige. If you're looking for a good alliance, you look on the forums. There's a lot of people posting. Also, just or if you're looking for players, you look on the forums. Also, live streams is a pretty good place to find people. Just go where people are active in the community, and you'll find people your level. Next up here, we got Jared. Any account decision you've made that you regret? Yeah, there's definitely been some at the time, but looking back on it now, not really. For example, Mr. Sinister, when I took him to rank 5, back then those tier 5 basics were a very hot commodity. But now, 2 tier 5 basics, whatever. Would I use a rank down ticket on him now? Sure. But, it doesn't really bother me. But yeah, right now, is there anything I really regret? Not really. Try not to really dwell on things. It is what it is. If I get a rank down ticket, sure, maybe I'll use it. But yeah, not really. Next up here, we got Olaf asking, how tall are you? I'm 6 feet tall. Next up, we got Morshu. Champion you think deserves a buff for each class, preferably just mediocre characters on par with Sim Spider-Man. Okay, so for Cosmic, Sim Spider-Man, I'd love to see him get a buff. For Tech, a mediocre champ, I mean, Iron Man, he's pretty bad. Iron Man and Captain America, like the classic versions, they both had like, I forget which event it was, but they both had like a buff in one event. It made them like way better. I wish so. Seeing them actually get like a buff would be really great, because Kabam just released like new versions of them and left the old ones to rot. For Mystic, Iron Fist, would love to see him get a buff. What class am I missing here? I can't even think. Mutants, that's what I'm missing. X-23 would be pretty cool to get a buff. I think she's mediocre nowadays, kinda, you know. And Skill, Gwenpool, she's good, but I'd love to see Gwenpool get something a little extra. Maybe a way to start with a combo towards her signature ability. That'd be really cool. But yeah, something like that. Next up, we got Ryan here. Where do you see yourself in 5 years as a creator? Would you take this game as serious as you do if you didn't make any YouTube videos? How close have you been to quitting the game? And what was your reason? Okay, I like this question. So where do you see yourself in 5 years as a creator? I have no idea, man. I have no idea. This is a very interesting journey that I've been on so far, and I honestly have no idea where it's going to lead, but I'm going to just stay on this path and see where it takes me. You know, that's kind of the outlook I have on it. So far, things have been great, so I'm excited for the future. And then would you take this game as serious as you did if you didn't make any YouTube videos? Probably not. And like not now, just because of how much I have to spend and play to stay at like this high level. But you know, when I first started playing and everything was like fresh and new, I was playing even more than I am now, and I wasn't doing YouTube back then because it was just like kind of fresh and just a new experience. But like now where I'm at, if I didn't do YouTube, I'd probably still play, but I wouldn't play it as serious, and I wouldn't spend nearly as much. The only way I justify all my spending is because it's for my business, you know. And how close have you been to quitting the game? Well, I have quit the game, and the reason was partially for that drama we talked about at the start. That, and I was just kind of burnt out from the game. I felt like I was at a point where, you know, I had everything I wanted in the game. And I just took a break. I took like a 3-month break, and then I came back for Comic-Con. I was just gonna, you know, make a couple of videos, make a little bit of money before I went to Comic-Con, and I ended up just falling back in love with the game. And that was in 2018. And yeah, I've just been on the grind ever since, like, for like the last 2 years. So yeah, sometimes you need to take a break from the game. Sometimes a break will do you well. Which node do you hate the most in overall game, and what are your thoughts on 4Loki's plan for war? Node I hate most overall in the game, probably say, what's that one node? I can't think of the name. Mesmerize. I hate that node where they evade, they stun you. I think that's such a silly node. I remember when I was a noob doing Act 4 and I was getting stunned. I was so confused. I was getting so angry. Yeah, I think that's one of the worst nodes. That and slash tires. That's where you dash back and you take damage. It was a ridiculous node back in the day. We haven't seen it in a long time. Yeah. What are your thoughts on 4Loki's plan 4? I think it's solid, you know. In my battle, I don't really know how the other battle groups work because I'm not in them. I assume it works similar to how mine does, but with mine, it's great. You know, Taters, he plans the paths every single war. Tells what to do, who to bring, and if we have any questions, you know, he tells us how to do the fight with certain champion, and if we have an issue with anything, we talk to him. I've definitely deviated from his initial plan. I think it's great, and we placed 3rd this last war season, so it works well. What is your reaction on this? Ghost and Captain Marvel as 6 stars. That's awesome, man. That's really awesome. I'm jealous, dude, of that Ghost. That's a sick pull. Yeah, that's 2 basic crystals too, probably. Yeah, that's 20k shards well worth. This is gonna be a hard one for you. How do I pull Warlock? No idea, man. Spend $1,000 on his Cavalier crystals, and you'll probably get him at some star level. I can tell you that. That's the only way that's the only thing I haven't tried to get Warlock, is spend a bunch of money on him. We got and that was from, I've been meaning to read everyone's names, just because everyone who sent a message. So shout out to Himanshu, if I said her name wrong, I'm sorry. Meet Kickum, and here we have L. So would you ever consider evaluating a fan's account and give advice about who to rank up and champions they should go after? Yeah, that could be fun, but just like when I'm live streaming, people ask me questions about their accounts all the time and try to answer the best I can. What champion do you wish to see on the game? Black Cat. I'd love to see Black Cat, man. I feel like she'd be a great addition to the game. What team did you use for your no revive or position Guillotine 2099 LOL run? I think it was Guillotine, Nick Fury, Quake. So those three for sure, because Quake gives the evade charges. Those were pretty nice for Guillotine. I'm not sure who else I brought. I might have brought Proxima and Aegon for the No, I don't think their combo shield carries over. I'm not sure who the other two spots were. It's probably on my video where I was doing some Guillotine with Labyrinth videos. Probably can see the whole team. But the Quake evade charges were really useful for Guillotine on that run. Alright, and that was from Lettuce. Next up we got Easy saying, part 1, if you were in an arena where every 5 seconds a 5-year-old child was sent in to fight you, how long would it take for you to be overwhelmed by the onslaught of 5-year-olds? Part 2, same question, but with 12-year-olds every 12 seconds. I feel like I can last pretty long against 5-year-olds, man. 5-year-olds, they're pretty small. Such a weird question. I feel like I could last quite a while. 12-year-olds, they're a bit bigger. I don't know. I don't think I'd be able to last too long against the 12-year-olds every 12 seconds. Maybe a minute or two against the 12-year-olds. I don't know. Depends, man. That's such a weird question. But like I said, I'm going to try to answer them all. Next up here we got Xproson. What's the weirdest rank up in MCC you've ever seen? And for a real life question, how long have you lived in Canada and what's your favorite thing to do there? Alright, so weirdest rank up I've seen in MCOC. There's been some really weird ones, but now they're not weird. But it was champions that were ranked up before they were buffed. And Venom, I saw someone rank 5 of Venom when he was bad before. And I remember the day that screenshot just circulated through line chats. That was weird. And then Clobberin Time, he ranked up his Red Hulk to rank 4, which was the highest rank back at the time before he got buffed. And that was really weird too. And then he got buffed, and then he was really good. And then the rank up was justified. But yeah, rank ups like that. And I've lived in Canada all my life. I was born in Edmonton, Alberta, and my favorite thing to do in Canada, in Edmonton, we have West Edmonton Mall, which is the biggest mall in Canada. It's pretty fun to go there. They got a great water park, a bit of a rides too called Galaxy Land. That's really fun to go there. And also skiing. I really love skiing in the winter. So yeah, that's what I like to do here. Next up, we got a question from Jaden. What sparked your love for MCOC? I've always been into superheroes as a kid. Love Spider-Man. Watched the cartoons when I was a kid every morning, and I started playing a DC mobile game first. Then looked up some YouTube videos on it, and then I started hearing people talk about Marvel Contest of Champions. And eventually I decided to check it out, and I was like, yeah, this is sick, man. Just Marvel characters who I already love, like Spider-Man, and yeah, just kind of got me into it. Alright, we got and that was from Jaden. We got a big question from Justin here. So, in regards to release of cash deals, do you think a band would eventually release a Nexus like Mass Cash where you choose from options? Said options dictate price fluctuations, where the price is unit-based or actual local currency. You think it could help the players more, or is it more something else that would essentially equal to the price of said deal, or is it where unit based it would lower unit price? Depends on what's selected. Still, I hope the point is understood. Help the players pick what they actually want to select what they don't need, like say 6-star SIG deal, 26-star stones, 10k 5-star shards, 2k 6-star shards, 35k gold, 89.99 USD. Imagine you don't need 10k 5-star shards. Instead, you can remove or replace it with more gold. Okay, I think I get what you're saying here. So they give you a deal, and you can remove stuff from the deal and take money off the deal, right? Something like that. I don't think Kabam would do that if it's for money. For units, I could maybe see it because we already have something kind of like that on July 4th and stuff with the unit deals. And it, they're getting pretty selective. So I could see something. I don't see it happening with money. I don't see Kabam ever taking off money from something, even if you don't need the shards. Sure, maybe they'll let you take off the shards, but they're not going to decrease the amount of money. But yeah, it'd be interesting. I'd like to see more deals like that for sure. Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, next up here from Delithius. Why is Omega Red one of the best champs for AW, and why is it that some scrubs die with him? If you're talking about me, I don't know. I just had a bad season with him. I don't know. The last season with him was really good. Just kind of lost my confidence with him. Next up, we got a question from Morningstar. How much do you regret rank 3 Hitmonkey, assuming you do, since there has been no notice of him in any live stream, video, or incursion? How do you stay so chill during openings when you get 60 6-star trash dupes? Where do you see the game going in the next few years? I don't regret rank 3 Hitmonkey, currently at least, because looking at my skill roster, I have no one that I would rank 3. And he's been great for Prestige. I don't use him that much, but he's gotten a lot of kills on defense, so that's good. But yeah, I don't regret it at all, just because I don't have another skill champion to use the skill gem and skill catalyst on, and I have another skill catalyst anyways. So yeah, I don't regret it. I think Hitmonkey's really good too. And how do I stay so chill? I always don't want to be known as the guy that like gets really mad and like freaks out. I never really wanted to be like that. So trust me, when I'm not on stream or recording, sometimes when I'm playing games, I rage a bit, but yeah, I don't know. I don't want those reactions going around. So yeah, try to keep a level head in those openings. And where do you see the game going in the next few years? I don't know, man. As long as like the MCU stays as big as it is, and the game keeps staying connected to it, I feel like the game's going to keep staying pretty relevant, which is great because the MCU is so big. So yeah, I think the game's going to keep going up, and I hope it does in the next few years. Yeah. So next up, we got a question from Marco. What has been your favorite EQ month, champs, side events, and overall quality of it all? Ooh, that's a tough one, man. My memory on these events is not so good. I'd have to say the first Dimensional Rifts was probably my favorite EQ month, because I think that was a November, and I started playing the game in October. Yeah, I started playing the game in October, and then November it was Mordo and Dr. Voodoo, and so I was still a noob. I'd only been playing the game for like a month, and I remember trying to do the master difficulty, and it was so tough. I got to the Mordo boss, and I couldn't get past him. But we had the Dimensional Rifts event, and that event was awesome. And like I said, I was a noob, but I got through the hardest difficulties. I got really good rewards, and yeah, it was the very first Dimensional Rift, so it was like a new, fresh, cool idea. And yeah, so that was probably my favorite one looking back. Yeah. Thank you, Mark, for the question. Bink Plays says, any rank ups you regret making? Kind of like Mr. Sinister, but like I said earlier, try not to really dwell on it. Sure, if I had a rank down ticket, would I give it to Mr. Sinister? Yeah, but it's all good. And also, like, Sunspot, I regret rank 5ing him because I pulled a 6-star like soon after. Rank ups like that, I do regret, but yeah, I just try not to think about it. When do you think you would stop uploading to YouTube? Hopefully never, man. I don't want to ever stop. What are some other favorite games besides MCOC? Well, right now the only other game I really play is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on the Switch. That's like the main game I play right now. But other favorite games, Call of Duty. I used to love, dude. I've probably logged more hours on Call of Duty than I have in MCOC if you like account for all the Call of Duties. And that's saying a lot because I've played MCOC a crap ton. But yeah, I've put a lot of hours into Call of Duty. Pokemon, big fan of Pokemon. I haven't really been playing recently, but yeah, I'll always get the new Pokemon game and play it. Always special place in my heart for Pokemon. Yeah. Alright, we've got a picture here. What was your absolute best, luckiest pull? Also, what do you think of this? Best Lucky's pulls got to be Sorcerer Supreme from the 6-star feature when I called it. And dude, that's a sick drawing of Venom. Let's move this up a little bit. Dude, that's awesome, man. You got a lot of skills. That's really cool. I wish I could draw like that, dude. That's sick. Awesome. I'm not a dinosaur. Thanks for your question. And Caleb and Say Fast. Did I say your name right? All right. Next up, we got Joaquin. Why can't Ryan Grant pull Aegon? And when you command the MCC gods for Sorcerer Supreme, it's instant. Bless the man with Aegon, all powerful one. That's funny. Sorcerer Supreme. I was just thinking about that. Dude, I don't know. Brian has Aegon. He has pulled 6-star Aegon, dude. He has him. He has to dupe him. I can't, man. I don't know. Here we got a question from Roboto. What was your dream job before you decided to do YouTube? It was, well, going through the years is different. So when I was very young, I wanted to be a superhero. I wanted to legally change my name to Spider-Man at one point. I remember. Like I said, I used to really love Spider-Man. This was probably when I was 4 or 5. And then as I grew up, I got into soccer. I wanted to be a professional soccer player at one point. And then I got into Call of Duty very heavily in grade 6. And then I wanted to be a professional Call of Duty player and streamer and YouTuber. And then when I quit Call of Duty in high school, I didn't really know what I was going to do, and I took a year off. And I started doing YouTube for MCOC, and YouTube was always that dream job. So yeah, YouTube basically is my dream job, which is really cool. So yeah, that was kind of what I wanted to do. And yeah, I ended up with YouTube, which is awesome. All right, next up we got a question. Oh, this is a big thread. I hate the new Twitter update. These threads are weird. Okay, so it looks like the thread starts here from MSD. If the only way to pull Warlock was to rank 5 She-Hulk, would you do it? Yeah, man. Absolutely. 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 T.O. I don't know what that says. Something about Brazil? Don't speak Spanish, man. Sorry. Next up, we got a question from iFetch. Or Life of Scrap. Let's go with that. Would you ever play other games on your channel? Yeah. Played Super Smash Bros. On the channel a little bit. Played some zombies back a couple of years ago, which was fun. Played Fortnite on the channel a bit. Yeah, I'm down to play some other games on the channel if you guys want to see it, Play some Among Us. We had a little group on Discord the other day playing that. What's your guilty pleasure champion? Mole Man. Good old Mole Man. Will you be voting for Carol Baskin or DWTS? Is that an American election thing? I don't know. Can I be in the video? Dan, you are in the video, man. And I keep forgetting to read names. Stone Whale and Sinister Minister. Thank you guys for your questions. All right, looks like we got another thread here. Speaking of Among Us, if vegetables were sentient and mobile, which one would be prone to engaging in crime? From Cat Murdoch. Definitely broccoli. Definitely broccoli, man. I think Cam agrees, man. Broccoli. Yep. Definitely broccoli. Next up, we got a question from Marco. Hi, Lagacy. Congrats on 75K. Who's your favorite champ? And who is your favorite non-God tier champ? And also, why did you start YouTube? Also, I really like you and the 4 Loki guys. Think you are awesome, especially dreaming and put out awesome content. Thank you, Marco. Yeah, I've seen you in some of Dreamin's streams before. My favorite champ, Stark Spidey and Human Torch. Favorite non-God tier champ? I don't know. I like Iron Fist and like Daredevil because I love their TV shows. I wish they were better. They need a buff. And also, why did you start YouTube? Well, I've always, since I played Call of Duty, I always wanted to do YouTube. I just started posting crystal opening videos for fun. And then when those started, my videos just started getting more and more views. And I was like, whoa, I could actually start doing this. And yeah, and I did. I'm really glad I did. What's your best memory with MCOC, proudest moment? Well, it's the same. These are the same. Winning Comic-Con 2017 is my best memory with MCC and one of my proudest moments in the game and just in life. It's me as a young 17-year-old Canadian going to New York all by himself in the big city, going to Comic-Con, entering the tournament, and winning it. That'll always be probably my favorite story. So yeah, that's great memory with MCC and just in general. Thank you for the question, Catapule. Probably said that wrong. Is Mole Man the skill Corvus? Yes, Edward, he is. I think you and other MCC YouTubers who are earning good stacks from YouTube are living a great life. I mean, playing your fave game as your profession, damn, it'll be my dream job. So question is, do you think the same? Yeah, man, it is awesome having my dream job of doing YouTube. But, doing YouTube for this game isn't always great. There's a lot of times where I just need a break from the game and, oh no, I gotta keep playing. I gotta keep doing AQ. I gotta keep staying in this Alliance for Alliance War. And earning good stacks from YouTube. Definitely not every MCC YouTuber. Good stacks. I don't know what that means, but I mean, I'm not making $1 million from YouTube. That's for sure, man. Not even close. But yeah, Kamehameha. Thank you for the message, man. But yeah, I do think it's awesome being able to do my dream job. We got another question from L. What's your favorite game activity? I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Game activity. Playing pool. If you mean like in real life, like billiards. It's one of my favorites for sure. Christian saying, do you think they'll make a new Winter Soldier character like from the movies? I don't know. I hope so. Maybe with the TV show with Bucky and Falcon, they will. Which MCC champion makes you gag? Joe Fixit. Will you make more content in your Spidey suit? Yes, definitely, Alan. Thank you for your question, Anish. But yeah, definitely more content in the Spidey suit, man. It was good to break that out. Next up, Z-Fear. Who did you use to clear Act 6.1? Love the God tier 6-star openings. Thanks, man. 6.1. Omega Red. Used him a fair bit. It was a while ago. It's all it was all streamed on the channel if you want to take a look. Omega Red for Crossbones. Who did I use for Sentinel? I don't even remember. That was so long ago. It was before I got Ghost, so I didn't use Ghost. Yeah, I don't even remember. Next up, we got Tyler Rogers. Did you read any specific comics as a kid? And if so, which stand out in particular? And who's your favorite character from the comics? Congratulations on 75K. It's an incredible milestone. Next is the push to 100K. Thanks, man. So no, I didn't really read comics as a kid. I just watched like TV shows and movies, like the Spider-Man TV shows, movies. And Spider-Man was definitely my favorite character. But I also really liked Captain America. And also, I like DC too. Like Batman Beyond, that was a really big thing when I was a kid. I was very young when it came out. I love Batman Beyond. Yeah, those shows were great, man, in the movies. Next up, we got Adithya. Definitely said that wrong. I apologize. I know this is not a personal question, but can you please tell me if there are any fights in LoL that Aegon can't handle? No, I think he can pretty much handle anything. There's might be a couple fights that he's like not the best matchup for, but I'm pretty sure he can do every fight in there. I'm trying to think. Yeah, like just with units in Aegon, you can do anything in Labyrinth, man. Because you can do X23. Yeah, pretty sure you can do everything. What games do you play apart from MCOC? Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the main game I play aside from MCOC. Thank you, Pratik. Next up, we got My Wife Left Me. Oh no, okay, Lagacy, if you were to add any character to the game, who would it be and why? P.S. I love your videos, man. Keep it up. Thanks, man. Black Cat. I definitely want to add Black Cat. And why? Just, I remember her in the original Spider-Man cartoon, and it was great. I thought she was a really cool character. Thought her and Spider-Man were really great together. Yeah. Next up, we got a question from Drew. If you were forced to delete one God tier character from the game completely, Why would it be Domino? Um, why would it be Domino? I hate the RNG factor of Domino, man. I really do. I don't like playing Domino just because it's so RNG. So yeah, just the RNG. And Amit, how does it feel like being my favorite YouTuber? Thank you, man. It feels great. You know, when people say I'm their favorite YouTuber, I'm like, really? It's like, man, thank you. That means so much. There's a lot of YouTubers out there. It feels great. Next up, we got Prab. It's all, I don't know how to say that's your name. When is the GF reveal? I don't know, man. I don't know. Apoc saying, what one champion is your dirty secret favorite to play with? Stark Spidey, man. It's really good to play him, and I don't get to do it much, you know? It's not really a dirty secret, but I don't get to really play Stark Spidey anymore. It's good to play him. Really good to play him. Next up, we got a question from McGumman. How often do you drink alcohol? It's not that often. You know, I'm a social drinker, I guess you could say. The thing is, when I drink a lot. You know, like I just don't have one beer and that's it. You know, like if I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna drink a lot. So you know, and then I usually feel really bad the next day. So it doesn't happen very very often. I'd say like it honestly depends. In the summer it was more because I was camping at the lake and you know, I could let loose a little bit. But yeah, normally, you know, a couple times a month, you know, not that often. Next up, we got a question from Jojo. I'd really like to know, is rupture? If you can say that is. No idea what that means. Talking about rupture, like the debuff. Next up, we got a question from Smasher. Are you a dropout or are you in college? So neither. I finished high school, got my diploma, and then I took a year off, and I kind of started focusing on YouTube a bit more. I never went to college or anything. I did some upgrading, which I don't know if that's a familiar term in other places, but basically I just retook some high school classes, English and math, at a higher level, and just increased my grades. Just so that I could apply to college or university, but I never ended up applying because I got back into YouTube, and yeah, so I never went to college or anything. Next up, we got a question from Edward. What's your all-time favorite video game? Probably Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. That was the first Call of Duty I started playing, and so many good memories on that game. I put in so much time to that game, man. I played that game so much. It's ridiculous. Always have a special place in my heart for that game. It's too bad now it's full of hackers and, well, I mean, it was always full of hackers, but yeah. Next, we got a question from Music Man Joe. If MCC was never a thing, what game would you be playing on YouTube on a regular basis? I don't know if I would have really gotten into YouTube if it wasn't for MCC. Maybe Call of Duty if I had gotten back into it. Maybe Fortnite. I went through a Fortnite phase. Maybe it would have been Fortnite. Next up, we got a question from CW Cody. Ever had a day job? Fast food, grocery store, lifeguard? Yeah, you got it right. Grocery store. So I got a job at a grocery store called Safeway when I was in grade 10. I was 15, maybe 14, I think. Yeah, no, I think it was... Yeah, it would have been 14. Yeah, and so yeah, I worked at a grocery store called Safeway, and I was what was called a courtesy clerk, which is basically I brought the carts in from outside. You know, I helped cashiers bag groceries. I did carryouts. I cleaned up any messes that were made, which was not fun. Yeah, it was an okay job at first, but it started to get bad, and in winter. It sucked. It sucked, man. I have to bring in so many carts from outside, push them through the snow in like minus 30 degrees weather at night. Oh, that sucked. That was horrible. Yeah. But yeah, it was a good. I'm glad I had that experience of having a first job like that. Next up, we have a question from Dakish. If YouTube shut down business, what are your backup plans? I don't know, but the cool thing about doing YouTube is that I now have met a lot of people, and so you know, knowing all these people There's some people that I can honestly like go to and ask for a job, and I'm pretty sure they'd give me one. And also, just I like know some people in real life that run their own businesses or stuff that I know if I need a job, I could ask them and I could get one if I had to. But yeah, really kind of just hoping I can keep doing YouTube for a long time. Next up, we have a question from Mike. Is TJ your favorite alliance mate? And if not, why not? He's not my favorite. He's up there. He's definitely up there. But you know, when you got Brian Grant in your alliance, man, it's hard. It's hard for anyone else to be your favorite. Next up, we have a question from Mohammed. As a Canadian, where do you stand on Anne of Green Gables? There's only one right answer. Green Gables. I don't even know what that is, man. Sorry, I don't know what that is. Should I know that as a Canadian? I'm gonna look that up after. I might be making myself look like an idiot. Next up, we have a question from Subham. Congratulations first, and now question: how to be uncollected? Full guide with all the latest champions. Probably content for a whole new video, but do consider it. All right, man, I'll consider it. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, there's a lot of champions now that help counter the collector and everything like that. Yeah, definitely some food for thought on a video to make. Next up, we got something from Brian. Please, Kabam, give Legacy tier 5 Science Catalyst, and most of all, give this man a 6-star Warlock. A 5-star won't be enough anymore. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Looks like we got a question from Otrix. If you could redo anything in your life over again, what would it be? Yes, that includes MCOC decisions. Oh, that's a tough one, man. Redo anything in life. I don't know. I'd probably go back to high school. Do high school over again. Do it much differently because like for my first 2 years of high school, all I was doing was playing Call of Duty. You know, I didn't socialize very much because I was trying to become a pro. And then in grade 12, I found MCOC, and that took up a fair bit of time. So yeah, you know, I'd probably go back to high school over again, not sleep as much in class, pay attention more, get really good grades, socialize a lot more, and start playing MCC a bit sooner as well. And maybe start doing YouTube a bit sooner too. Be like the first MCC YouTuber. Maybe that's what I'd do. But that's an interesting question, Otrix. Next up, we got a question from Warren. Please make a video of your top 5 champions that don't need synergies to be good. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good video. Namor would definitely be on there, man. Just give one off the top of my head. Namor is a great champ. Doesn't need any synergies. Kirk, best advice to getting ready to make a run for Cavalier. Get some units ready. Farm some potions. Farm some revives. Yeah, you know, great time to make any kind of run and like to become Cavalier, to become Uncollected, to do an Abyss run, a Labyrinth run, whatever. Is when there's current events that are giving stuff like revives and potions. Like, you know, recently we had compensation packages for like server maintenance and whatever. Those had revives, potions, you know. Those are always great times to make runs like that when you have those resources built up. Like I had a bunch of revives recently expire because there's nothing to do. But yeah, just watch some videos as well on like easiest paths and stuff, and figure out what's best for your roster, and then just give it a try. And you know, if you're having trouble, you don't have to commit to it. But yeah. Next up, we got a question from Rolo. Is GT2099 any good for LoL completion easy path? Undupe 6-star rank 1. Yeah, dude, she's great for Labyrinth. I'd say her and Aegon are the two best options for Labyrinth. Yeah. 6-star rank 1, though, you might need to bring an attack synergy to get the elongated enrage timer. I'm not sure on that. So yeah. Blank asking, what is the best question I can ask for the Q&A? Well, not that. Eric saying, got any plans for the channel? Good luck. You know, just as far as plans go, just keep doing MCOC stuff, like what I've been doing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just gonna keep doing the same thing. Keep grinding the game. Who's the next champs for October? I can't tell you that, man. They should be released. The information should be released soon. The average MCC player saying, and here we had a message from Underpaid. What made you install MCC and start playing, and which other mobile games do you suggest to fellow summoners? So I was playing a DC game called DC Legends, and I was watching YouTube videos on it. I saw YouTube videos from Seaton and Yeats, and they both suggested MCOC. And eventually I gave in and I gave it a try, and here we are today. And other mobile games, Among Us is pretty fun. I used to play Clash of Clans, Clash Royale. Used to play those games quite a bit. Yeah. Daniel saying, what else do you really enjoy besides MCOC? Gotta have other games you play. Yeah, Smash Ultimate. That's really it right now. Among Us a little bit, just with some friends. Gabriel, how long you planning to continue playing the game? By the way, you're my favorite CCP YouTuber. Keep it up. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate that. And I plan to keep playing, until the game is no more. Just gonna keep playing. Why did you start YouTube? I started doing MCC YouTube videos just for fun, really. Just uploaded my crystal opening videos around Christmas time. And that's when I got Scarlet Witch, which was like crazy, like 4-star Scarlet Witch. That was like pulling a 6-star ghost, like nowadays, like and not having any kind of ghost, or like a Quake, like pulling 4-star Scarlet Witch back then was like next level, and I was like, oh, that was so huge. I don't know, I just started uploading my openings, and then eventually I started uploading gameplay, and people started liking that. But yeah, thank you, Lemon. Next up, we got Wade. What's your favorite in-game mode? Do you feel regretful with your rank 3 Hitmonkey last? Your very first videos had some more enthusiasm for the game, like you pulled OG Thor and your sound was silently screaming with joy. Can you catch that feeling today? Yeah, man, if I pulled Warlock, I'm sure I'd feel like that. But yeah, I don't know. It definitely had more enthusiasm back then because it was a bit newer and fresher. But yeah, don't regret Rank 2 Hitmonkey. And favorite game mode, probably story content, man. Probably story content. But I do really love Alliance War as well. Next we got Bo Tyjon. What is one thing you would recommend to anyone wanting to start a YouTube channel? Don't get discouraged by the numbers. Don't get discouraged when your video has like 10 views. That can be really discouraging, and just don't think about that. And also, ignore mean comments. Just ignore them. Don't let them get to you, because you'll read 10 nice comments and you'll read one bad comment, and the bad comment is the one that resonates with you, and that's bad. You don't want to be like that. You gotta ignore the bad comments, man. Yeah. If you next up, got Glazers out. If you could be any MCC character, who would you be? Spider-Man. Definitely Spider-Man. Or Thanos, because he's freaking Thanos, Thing on Encroaching Stun. Who is the best option? That's a tough one. I don't know. Nick Fury's pretty good. I'm 1-0 on that fight. So, yeah, maybe him. Another question from Glazers here. What made you interested in making your own YouTube channel in the first place? What are your future plans with MCC and in life? And if you could pick one champion to buff, who would it be? So I was always interested in having a YouTube channel from like Call of Duty, and I still have like my first 3 videos on the channel were from Call of Duty. So my channel had been made for a while. And what are your future plans in MCC and in life? I don't know, man. Like I don't really have plans. Like I said earlier in the video, I'm just kind of on this path and just kind of seeing it where it takes me. If I could pick one champion to buff, who would it be? Sentry. Dirty sending over a question here. My kid and I love and live to play video games. He would really love to start making videos to put on YouTube and maybe stream. What equipment do we need to start, and how should we approach on posting them? So it depends what you need for what game and console you're going to be playing. I suggest getting an Elgato capture card. That's what I got originally to stream and record Call of Duty back in the day. And I still use that same one for my channel today for MCOC. So yeah, I recommend getting an Elgato capture card, definitely a computer that doesn't lag like crazy, and get OBS to record videos on. That's what I use. If you're gonna do mobile gaming, you're gonna need one of these bad boys right here, this Apple HDMI adapter. And yeah, it really just depends, what content you're doing for what other equipment you need. But yeah. Next up, we have a question from Chinny saying, if I got Warlock from the 8 5-star crystals I have, what would you do? I'd say that's awesome, man. And be slightly jealous. We have a question from Bobbin. How many matchups does Bowser win, and why is the answer all of them? He does win all of them, man. Bowser's my main character in Smash Ultimate, and there's not a matchup that I'm scared of with him. Just gotta Bowser through it, man. Just gotta use that cheese. Next we got a question from Joe. If you could have the powers of any MCOC champ, who would you pick? Hyperion, because he's basically Superman. Yeah, I'd pick Hyperion because then I'd be Superman. Yep. Why did you get the Summer Showdown shut down early? What class is most likely to get the new Corvus? I had nothing to do with the Showdown being shut down early. And what class is likely to get the new skill Corvus? Or a new Corvus. Well, we already have like 2 skill Corvuses. We already got the Cosmic Corvus. Maybe a Mystic Corvus is next. I don't know. What's your favorite memory of playing this magnificent monster? Comic-Con, clearing something, champion pool? Definitely Comic-Con. The first Comic-Con and winning. That's my favorite memory. But last Comic-Con might have been my favorite one overall. Just like seeing everybody again and hanging out with everybody. That's what I was much more focused on at the last Comic-Con. Drinking with everybody. It was really fun. And yeah, that was from Work in Progress, Alliance Mate, and Mad Max. CT saying, what's your IRL synergy team and what are the synergies? I've actually thought about this before. When me and my friends play volleyball, I feel like I have a synergy with my one friend, Jeff. Just because, like, when we're on the same team, it's just like good vibes, He never, gets mad, if I screw up. So I feel like our synergy is just, I don't know, good vibes, and it just it makes me play better volleyball, man. That was from CT. We got a question from Ilac. Why didn't your dad teach you how to throw like a man? Hey, man, I missed the fence on purpose. Okay, it was for the meme. Next up, we got a question from Slayer of Gods. Do you think you'll find Sasquatch in your backyard next time you go throw snowballs at your fence? What champion do you want to join MCC? What class would they be? If you could buff any champion, who is it and how would you buff them? Thanks, Legs. Wow. So yeah, I don't think I'll find Sasquatch in the backyard. Unless it's winter. Maybe. Don't accidentally throw a snowball at him. And what champion do you want to join MCC? Like I said earlier, Black Cat. And what class she would be? I think skill or science. One of those two. And if I could buff any champion, Sentry, and how would I buff them? I'd just make him insanely good. I'd make him the new Science Corvus. That's what I would do. Yeah. We got a question from MCC Sama. Taking into account the large friend base you have in MCC, maybe you meant fan base. Why do you find yourself switching alliances? Oh no, I think you did mean friend base. Does that put a strain on the friends in past alliances? And do you think switching up pushes you anymore? So, it's really difficult switching alliances now because of the drama that's occurred in the past. And does it put a strain on friends in past alliances? I don't think so. It's hard for me to answer, but I don't think so. I still talk to Hector and guys in Omni all the time, and we're still on a really good basis. But yeah, I hate switching alliances. I really do. It's because then I get the comments about being an alliance hopper and all that stuff, and it's not fun. Not fun at all. And all right, we're getting to the end here. Holy crap, this is 49 minutes long, and there's still the YouTube ones. Oh my goodness. Next up, we got, speaking of past friends from past alliances, we got codename Jimmy, Jimbo here from Omni. Story time with Legs. You go camping or to the lake with your boys. I'm sure hijinks have followed. Any good stories? Getting up to no good. Oh god. Yeah. This year when I went to the lake with my friends, the first night we were there, I hadn't drank in a while. And like I said earlier in this video, I mean, if you've watched this whole thing, you're awesome. But when I drink a lot. So we started playing beer pong, and I don't even know what happened. I just drank so much that night. And I remember we were at a trailer at the lake lot, but we were staying in a cabin, but we were like partying in this trailer, and so we were going back to our cabin, and I remember walking, and it's like pitch black, had like my iPhone light, and just walking was hard, and oh my god, I was so drunk, it was crazy. And then I remember like I got into bed, and I'm just like, everything was like spinning, it was so weird, and I'm just like, this isn't good, like I can't sleep. I know if I go to sleep I'm gonna throw up, so I'm like only in my boxers right now. I'm like half naked, and I go outside into like the woods and I start throwing up, getting it out, because I drank way too much. And then I went back to the cabin and I like fell asleep on the deck for a while. And then like I don't even know how long it was, like 2 hours later I went back to bed. Oh man, that was a rough night. That was a really rough night. I'm never drinking that much again, dude. But yeah, there's a story for you. And then we got one more question here from Steven. What champ do you want to see a rework buff the most? I've had this question a few times, but yeah, Sentry, Phoenix, Karnak, Angela. I'm just naming champs that I have awakened as 6 stars at this point. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this Q&A. Part 1 at least. Let me know if you guys want a part 2. This was so long, but there are still like 200 more comments on the YouTube post. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this. If you enjoyed it, hopefully I answered your question if it was on Twitter. And yeah, if you watch this whole thing, you're crazy. Thank you guys for watching. Again, let me know if you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you like some more like this. Tips for going forward, if I should like just cut it down a lot more than this, any tips, any feedback is appreciated. Critique it. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.